Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to show you how I made this muslin and seashell flower. I think it's super cute. I've been obsessed with natural looking beachy things, so I really wanted to make a flower with like a different center. So I'll show you the supplies that I used to make this, and it was like super cheap to make. So first, for the material, I again wanted it to be natural looking, so I used muslin, and muslin is super cheap. I get it at Walmart, and it's probably less than, I don't know, like $3 a yard, but you get a lot for a little bit of money. And sometimes you can even look at the remnants. Sometimes they have it there, but it's super cheap if you get it by the yard. And for the flower centers, I use these seashell beads. You can use any seashells, but I saw these and they're actually beads, but they're super small, and it's a little bit easier to make the center with these. And then I used some of them. I haven't tried this before, but I want to try it with burlap. So I just got this from Michael's. You want to get the kind that frays, but not that much, because some of the burlap frays easily, and this one is pretty sturdy. So I use that. And you want some sort of flower dye, and so this is total throwback. I'm using a Sizzix dye flower layers number 6, but you want one that has the same shape flower in different sizes, so I just used that one. And I think that's all you need, and a glue gun. I was sewing the little petal centers together so I wouldn't make the flower too bulky with glue, but I think I'm just going to glue it together because it's just easier than sewing and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you how I cut the little pieces of the flower. So I like using the Sizzix die because you can cut many layers at once because it can take it. If you're using a wafer thin die, you can only probably cut like one layer at a time. So I have this piece of muslin here that I've pre-cut, and you can cut a lot of layers. So I always like to test my Big Shot's like ability to cut many layers, and I think I actually broke my Big Shot because I over sandwiched it. But I mean, muslin's pretty thin, so you can, you know, cut a lot of layers at once. So I have this big long strip, and I'm just gonna like fold it back and forth so I can get the layers, so I don't have to cut it a lot, and so the mess is reduced. So I'm just gonna fold this back and forth so that it's on top of each other. And there's like spaces where you can cut other shapes, so I saved this scrap piece, and if I want to cut like leaves or other things, I just take, you know, where there's like a space where I can cut, and then I'll use the scrap for that. So I think this might be too thick, but I'm just gonna go for it. So I think that's all I can make. So I have my Big Shot here, and I cleaned it. It was like super dusty last time I used it. So it's here. And so I'm for cutting just like a die, like a Big's die. You don't need your platform, so it's just plate, and then die, and then the thing you're die cutting, and then a plate again. I used to not know what the sandwiches are before, and then now I just know what to use. So I'm just gonna run it through. And I like to run it through a couple times just to make sure that everything is cut, sliced all the way through. I think just one more. And then I'm going to keep the sandwich intact, like this. And then I'm going to lift it up really carefully and that way I can just take the layers off so it's like a stack. So I have a stack of flowers there. And then here's the little baby size. And here's this size. So what I like to do is there's like more space where you can cut shapes. So I save that and then I just cut out the shapes later. So this is what the individuals look like. So I like muslin too because you can use like a die that looks like this and then you can cut a lot. Okay, there's like pieces everywhere that are coming from all over the place. Okay, so that's all done. So now you're gonna need, I'm gonna just use my craft mat real quick. So I can also see what I'm doing. So you're going to need, I think the way that I was doing this is like you need a base to glue the pieces on, and then you want to use a big, your biggest piece, and then you're going to need 4 of those. And then you're going to need a smaller piece, and then you're going to need 4 of those. And you can use different size dies and all that stuff, and however many layers that you want to use. But I mean, this is just like, you know, like one of the basic flower making techniques. So, okay. And I want to make a burlap one too, but I don't know if I'll have time. So, you just take it and then whatever, just fold it and then fold it in half and then in half again. And then you don't have to be super exact. And then when you fold it in half again, put the glue in there. And then you don't want too much glue because muslin is super thin and you don't want to burn yourself. But I'm totally immune to burning myself now because I think I just have calluses and stuff. So I'm going to do that to all the 8 pieces really quick. And again, you just want to use like a super tiny amount of glue because you don't want glue like everywhere. Like I just stick it in the middle there and then I fold it in half. I was sewing it like, but it just took too long. And you want to keep your big pieces together and then your smaller size pieces together so it doesn't get all mixed up. And I totally missed the glue gun that Whitty gave me. She gave me a Surebonder one, but I had used that thing so much, like for everything, that I think it died on camera, but I was able to just keep going. But it just, the tip just seriously like fell out. But I mean, it lasted a long time and I haven't been able to find another glue gun that performed as good as that one. I even got other Surebonder ones, but for some reason, like, either you buy a Surebonder, either it like works perfectly or it's like an epic fail. And I mean, you don't want to work the fabric too hard. You just want to be really easy with it. And again, make sure you don't burn yourself. Okay, so here's the piece that I'm going to glue it on. So I'm going to start gluing on these, the big petals, and then on top I'm going to glue these petals. So I take the first one and I try to get it in the, you know, in the middle or whatever. And then I take the other one and then I do it directly across like this. And then now you know where to put the other two. You'll put it here, and then you'll put it here. I totally miss making flowers. I used to make them all the time. And you don't want to use too much glue because again it's muslin and it's super thin. So that's what it looks like so far. And you can see how pretty the petals are, and you can fluff it up afterwards. And so now I'm going to take the second layer, and this is a smaller, you know, petal. So it should just layer on top. And do you see where it meets, like the lines? You'll take this and then you'll glue it so it covers the line. And that way you're hiding all of the seams. This one's actually coming out better than my prototype. And again, you don't want to use too much glue. And you want to fluff it up afterwards, after you do the shells, because it'll be harder to glue with it fluffed up with the shells. So far it's coming out super cute, and I love all the little layers. And this is like a petal die, so it looks cute, like the layers, but you can also use just a perfect circle as well. So that's what that looks like. It's so cute. I love it. And then this is like the harder part, gluing the beads on. And again, I'm going to try to glue I'm going to glue 4 shells, but I'm going to glue them so it covers the seam. So I'll use 4 of them. And so some of these shells are bigger than others, so you just want to, you know, just choose them. And some are darker or whatever, so you would just want to choose which ones that you want. And you want to double check to see that they lay nicely, because all of these are not the same. Okay, so this one's super fat, so I need a skinny one. Okay. And so how I like to glue them is, you'll see the shell looks like this, and I like the pointy side out. So this is where it gets all crazy. So what I like to do is I like to put the glue on the flower and then put the shell on top. And you just want like a tiny little bead. And again, I am gluing it so it's, you know, with the seam. And you want to be careful because The glue gun is hot. And if there's strings and stuff, just deal with it afterwards. But it works better if you select your shells before, just to see if they fit nicely, because again, they're all different shapes. So that's it. That's the flower. I'll have pictures in the end, but I'm also gonna try to make one with some burlap too, because I had cut out some burlap and I want to use one of the layers as burlap. So that's it, and I'll see you guys later, and I'll have pictures in the end. Bye guys.